Hi, this video is meant to show teachers how to administer the online assessment for the 2016 school year. As a teacher, the requirement is that you have an internet-connected computer. So that could be a laptop or a desktop at your desk in your classroom. Students, however, need to use Chromebooks as the secure browser is already built into the Chromebooks. You, however, do not need a secure browser, so you can use any of the browsers that you normally use to surf the internet. The website you're going to want to bookmark is the Caaspp.org website. That is CAASPP.org, and it looks like this. And this is where you will go on the days that you are giving the assessment to your students. This will be your starting point. It's important to know that you need to have already established an account in the system. And the system is what we call TOMS. That's the Operational Management System. Either your site testing coordinator or myself, or in my office, someone would have set up your account that would generate an email that you would have received, and it has the word Caaspp in the subject line. That email contains a temporary password that you can use to set up your account. When you set up that account, that is the account you will be using for student testing. If you don't have one, then you're going to need to talk to your site testing coordinator or my office, and we can set up an account. And again, that will generate an email. It will have a temporary password that you will use, and then you'll be instructed to create a new secure password. And they define secure by you must use a combination of capital letters, numbers, or special characters such as a pound sign or an exclamation mark. So you need two of those three items in order to create your password. Once you have a password, you'll want to put it someplace where you'll remember and have it be secure so that you could refer to it when it comes time to doing the testing. Once you're ready to begin administering the test, the only button you're going to need to worry about here is the Test Administrator button. But just a few other items to make you aware of as to what is here. There is a system status alert and a system status up here as well. In case you think there might be system issues, this is where they will be. And any latest news will be here with the latest news in the #1 position. There is a help item over here, but know that this is for the district Caaspp coordinator. So that would be, if you call this, they're going to instruct you to call me. So the normal protocol for any issues you have in the classroom is you first report it to your site test coordinator. If they are unable to resolve, then they will call my office. And if I am unable to resolve, then I'm the one who calls the number you see over here on the side. So again, when you're ready to test, you'll come to the Caaspp.org website and you will click on Test Administrator Interface. Now, before you do that, before the day of testing, I would practice the login process to make sure, maybe the night before or the week before, so that you know that it works, you know, remember what your password is, and you are able to comfortably log in when it's time to do this in front of students. If ever you are to misplace your password, it can be reset and you will have to create a new password. When you are ready to test, we're going to click on the Test Administrator interface. So in this case, I may be at my desk with my computer and the students are in front of me, all with Chromebooks. And I'm going to click on the Test Administrator interface. Now, they've made some improvements based on feedback from last year. But the overall interface from last year is very similar. So hopefully if you were here last year doing testing, you'll find that it looks fairly consistent from last year. Some of the improvements, though, are color coding and no longer a long scrolling list of just about every assessment available. So they've organized the assessments, first of all, by those that are the summative or the end of year tests, and the interim tests, which are meant to be the more formative type assessments. In this district, we are just experimenting with this at some grade levels. So for the most part, you will not need to worry about the interim assessments. When it comes time to the end of the year, you do want the purple summative assessments. These summative assessments are the official end of year assessments which get reported to the state. Also new this year is the nested folder organization of this. So if I am ready to have a test be active, I would click on a plus sign on the summative assessment, and then down below it lets me choose which of the two subject areas that are available for testing I can test. So if I want to administer the English Language Arts test, you could see now I've got the CAT test, the Computer Adaptive Test, and then the longer performance task. The CAT test, as you may recall, is the test that is most like a multiple choice, whereas the performance task was a longer task that required more reading and writing and research. When you're ready to give either of these tests, then you can click on the plus sign again, and now you see the grade levels. So I can click on, say, grade 4. And you need to know also that if you are a multi-grade teacher, it is perfectly acceptable to select more than one grade level. Or if you're involved with helping with makeup tests and you've got a wide variety of grades in front of you, again, you can activate multiple grades of tests. And because the students are in the system with their grade level already assigned, they will only see the assessments that are appropriate to them. When you reach the place where now you're ready to, say, administer the 4th grade ELA CAT test, I check that box and go down here to the Start Operational Test. Now, as you might recall, this is the most important thing here in the top right corner, which is our session ID. So the session ID is unique to each time you log in. So tomorrow if you log in, this number will be different. So it's just today's live session. And then this is the number or what you want to write on the board, because when students are ready to now log in, they're not going to log into the Chromebook. They're going to go down to the bottom left corner where it says Apps, and there is something there called Air Secure Browser. When they launch that, they're going to be asked to put in their official first name, their 10-digit state ID, and this session ID. So if you've got that on the board, it makes it easier for students to enter that. This session ID is what links the student's testing session to your test session here, and you can monitor student progress here. There are instructions on how to do all of this right here on the page. What will begin to happen is as students enter this in and click enter, you're going to start to see their names generating or populating here in this field down below, and there is a green check mark where you can approve them to take the test. There's also going to be the ability for you to pause the entire class. So recommended would be, as students are working, they get, I would say, a 10-minute warning before you plan on ending a test session or before a break or a recess, so that students can hopefully stop at a good place and they'll be able to resume the next day. but you need to give them a little bit of warning to make sure the system has time to save their work. What you will see down here is some really good information. You'll see the students' names. You will see what question they're on out of the total number of questions. So that gives you a chance to monitor the class and see if there is a student speeding through the test or really struggling through the test and getting far behind the other students. Again, if you needed to end the test session, you would let the students know that you're going to be stopping the session in a certain point, and then when it is time, you can simply hit the stop button here. You'll get a warning saying that you're going to be pausing the test for all your students, and you say that's okay. And we didn't have any students in this particular session, so there wasn't actually not an operational test session started. You can go ahead and close that tab, and again you'll get a warning, and you could just close that, and you're back here at the Caaspp website.